Sitting in the static, a room gone cold, tracing the stories that we never told. The clock on the wall is a heavy lead weight, swinging like a pendulum, mocking the date. I try to find a reason, try to find a why, but the answers are swallowed by a charcoal sky. They say that a scream is the sound of the end, but the loudest of breaks is the one that won't bend. It's the lack of a footstep, the lack of a key. It's the ghost of the us that stopped being we. There's a silence in the pain that's harder to bear than 1,000 glass houses crashing through air. It's a ringing in my ears, it's a desert in my throat, a slow sinking feeling in a hollowed out bone. I'm listening for a heartbeat, I'm listening for a sign, but the air is just empty. Will you have mine just a heavy hollow silence in the pain? I went to the park where we carved out our names, but the wind didn't whisper, it didn't play games. The world is on mute like a film with no sound, just my own lonely shadow hitting the ground. I'm a radio tuned to a frequency dead, with a million I love yous stuck inside my head. If you'd only yelled, if you'd only slammed the door, I'd have something to fight, something to ignore. But this quiet is a poison, it's a slow-acting blade, cutting through every last promise we There's a silence in the pain that's harder to bear than 1,000 glass houses crashing through air. It's a ringing in my ears, it's a desert in my throat, a slow sinking feeling in a hollowed out bone. I'm listening for a heartbeat, I'm listening for a sign, but the air is just empty. Will you have mine just a heavy hollow silence in the pain? Shh. Can you hear that? Nothing. Just the space where you sat. The echo of never. The sound of forever fading away. In the silence and the pain. reaching out across the empty side of the bed, repeating every stay that I never quite said. The walls are closing in, draped in velvet and ink. It's a long way down when you've got time to think. I'm tracing your outline in the cold, heavy air, a memory of someone who's no longer there. The candles burn down to a puddle of wax. There's no turning back on the shadows' tracks. I'm a moth to a flame that's been extinguished and gone, just waiting for a light that won't turn on. Now I'm just left in the dark, a blind man's prayer, whispering your name to the shivering air. I'm holding a ghost, I'm chasing a spark, trying to find home in the deep and the stark. The sun may be rising on the street outside, but in here there's nowhere for a heartbeat to hide. It's just love in the dark. I kept your old sweater just to feel the weight of a version of us that wasn't too late. But the scent is fading, drifting out through the door, like a ship that's forgotten the way to the shore. I'm navigating rooms by the bruises I find on the furniture left in the wreck of my mind. Is there a color for the way that it ends, for the jagged line where the lover unbends? It's the hollowed out purple, the bruised kind of blue, the permanent shade of losing you. Yeah, I'm just love in the dark, a blind man's prayer, whispering your name to the shivering air. I'm holding a ghost, I'm chasing a spark, trying to find home in the deep and the stark. The sun may be rising on the street outside, but in here there's nowhere for a heartbeat to hide. It's just love in the dark. Close your eyes, turn out the light. I'll find you in the middle of the night. But you're never there, you're never you, just a shadow of the love I used to feel. Love in the dark. I'm picking up pieces of a shattered glass sky, looking for reasons and asking God why. We built a cathedral on a foundation of sand. Now I'm holding the blueprints with no place to stand. The kitchen is quiet, the kettle is cold, like a promise we made that's grown bitter and old. I try to glue the edges, I try to make it fit, but the more that I touch it, the more that I quit. It's a broken love, it's a jagged edge dream, ripping apart at the very last seam. I'm bleeding out colors in a world turned to gray, watching the best of us just drift away. You can't fix a heart once the rhythm is gone. In a broken love that's been dragging us on. Inside of the closet is an empty white space, a stinging reminder I can't just erase. We used to be music, we used to be gold. Now we're just a story that's already told. I reach for your shadow when I'm half asleep, in a hole in my soul that's getting too deep. Is there a mending? Is there a way? Or are we just ghosts in a house of decay? I'd give all the better to have back the best before we put this broken love to the rest. Yeah, it's a broken love, it's a jagged edge dream, ripping apart at the very last seam. I'm bleeding out colors in a world turned to gray, watching the best of us just drift away. You can't fix a heart once the rhythm is gone. In a broken love that's been dragging us on. Just a crack in the window, letting in the cold. A hand I'm still reaching for, that I'll never hold. Broken love, yeah, it's just broken. I'm picking up pieces of of shattered glass from a picture of us in the tall green grass. The frame is splintered, the edges are frayed, just like the promises that we both made. I try to fit the jagged bits back in their place, but I can't find the curve of your smile or your face. There's a rhythmic bolt in the center of me, but it sounds like a hammer on a hollow tree. It's a mechanical beat, it's a heavy old drum, numb to the sting of what we've become. Yeah, my heart is broken, it's a pile of dust, rusted and weary from a lack of trust. It's a cracked ceramic, it's a fallen star. I'm wearing a map of every last scar. I thought it was iron, I thought it was steel, but it's just a wound that's forgotten to heal. Yeah, my heart is broken, and the silence is real. I went to the doctor to see if he knew how to stitch up a soul that's been split into two. He looked at the x-ray and shook his head slow. He said, son, there are places that medicine won't go. It's a structural failure, a collapse of the wall, and there's nobody left here to catch the fall. Glue it together or leave it in heaps. The ghost of your laughter is a secret it keeps. I'm sweeping the floor of a vacant room in a house that was built on a certain doom. Yeah, my heart is broken, it's a pile of dust, rusted and weary from a lack of trust. It's a cracked ceramic, it's a fallen star. I'm wearing a map of every last scar. I thought it was iron, I thought it was steel, but it's just a wound that's forgotten to heal. Yeah, my heart is broken, and the silence is real. One more beat, two more sighs. A desert of maybes and an ocean of whys. It's broken, it's done. The battle is lost, the damage is won. My heart is broken. past your reflection in a shop window pane. But when I turned around, it was only the rain. I still leave the porch light on, just out of habit, reaching for a love when I know I can't grab it. You're a flicker in the corner, a trick of the light, the ghost of a maybe in the middle of the night. I'm talking to walls that used to hold your frame, but even the echoes have forgotten your name. But I'm just a shadow of the person I was, fading out slowly, just because you took all the color and you took all the heat and left me like a silhouette on a deserted street. I'm an outline of a heart, I'm a hollowed out soul, trying to be steady, trying to be whole. But I'm just a shadow following you home. The dinner is quiet, I'm setting one plate, while the clock on the mantle is marking the day. I'm a blur in the photos, a smudge on the glass, watching the ghosts of our forever past. You move through the world like you're solid and real, while I'm just the vacuum where I used to feel. Is there a sun that can bring back the light, or am I just destined to blend with the night? I'm stretching out thin, I'm vanishing fast into the used to be and into the past. Yeah, I'm just a shadow of the person I was, fading out slowly, just because you took all the color and you took all the heat and left me like a silhouette on a deserted street. I'm an outline of a heart, I'm a hollowed out soul, trying to be steady, trying to be whole. But I'm just a shadow following you home. If the light hits just right, you can almost see me there, but I'm mostly just static, and I'm mostly just there, just a shadow fading, fading. The city is humming a song I don't know, and the streetlights are marking the way that I go. I see couples and windows, a blur through the checking my phone just to see if it vibrated. But it's just the cold in a heart that's outdated. I used to have a reason to hurry back home, but now every hallway is made out of stone. Now I'm out alone in the middle of the crowd, with a silence that's screaming. It's getting too loud. I'm a ghost in a jacket, a name in the rain, trying to walk off the weight of this chain. The world keeps on turning, but I'm standing still in the shadow of a love that I couldn't fulfill. Yeah, I'm out alone, just wandering through. I walked past the theater where we saw that play. I almost bought tickets for us for today, but the seat next to me would be empty and cold, like the story of us that's already been told. I'm a stranger to people I've known for years, because they don't see the salt or the tracks of the tears. Is there a map for a soul that's been torn, or a place for a heart that's been weathered and worn? I'm looking for exits, I'm looking for light, but I'm just a silhouette lost in the night. Yeah, I'm out alone in the middle of the crowd, with a silence that's screaming. It's getting too loud. I'm a ghost in a jacket, a name in the rain, trying to walk off the weight of this chain. The world keeps on turning, but I'm standing still in the shadow of a love that I couldn't fulfill. Yeah, I'm out alone, just wandering through. Keep walking, don't look at the stars. They only remind me of how far away you are. Out alone, just me and the pavement. With the sound of distant traffic, I'm standing in the hallway with a box and a broom, trying to sweep the ghost of you out of this room. There's a film of us on every window pane, and the scent of your perfume is driving me insane. I found a ticket stub from the night in July, and I'm scrubbing at the kitchen cracks in the floor. I hung up some curtains to block out the day, but the ghost of your touch won't just wither away. I looked for a hiding spot, a place to be numb, but the more that I run, the more certain it's come. It's not a guest and it's not just a phase. It's the smoke in the room and the fog in the gaze. I'm pulling the covers up over my head, but it's already sleeping on your side of the bed. And pain is here, it's making a home in the hollowed out spaces where we used to roam. It's sitting in chairs, it's drinking the wine, it's taking the yours and it's making it mine. I shouted for mercy, but the echo is clear. The love is all gone, but the pain is here. It follows me down to the grocery store, looking for items we don't need no more. It whispers your name when the radio plays, the soundtrack of all of our better off days. It's heavy as iron, it's sharp as a knife, the unwanted witness to the rest of my life. I asked it to leave, but it's got nowhere to go. It's the only thing left of the seeds that we sowed. It's the weight in my lungs, it's the salt in my tea, it's the only companion that's staying with me. And pain is here, it's making a home in the hollowed out spaces where we used to roam. It's sitting in chairs, it's drinking the wine, it's taking the yours and it's making it mine. I shouted for mercy, but the echo is clear. The love is all gone, but the pain is here. It's here to stay, it's here to breathe. It's the only thing that won't ever leave. Yeah, pain is here, it's finally here. The tears gone cold on the bedside table. I try to call out if I thought I was able, but the air in this room is a heavy, thick gray, and it swallowed the words that I wanted to say. I'm watching the dust most dance in the light. Oh, I'm losing the ghost of you into the night. I used to know the rhythm of your every breath, but this quiet feels a little bit too much like death. Oh, it's a silence that's louder than a scream, the shattering sound of a midwinter smiles. I almost bought lemons, the kind that you like. Then I remember the wind and the hike and the way that we ended without a single sound. Just two people watching their world hit the ground. Forgetting your name. The sound of a heart that's given up the fight, just the clock on the wall, and the shadows that fall, and the silence. Watched you pack the last box by the door. The tape hissed out on the hardwood floor. I saw your taillights fade into the gray, like a slow motion movie of a rainy day. The neighbors were watching, the sky started to fall, but I just stood there, leaning against the wall. My chest was a desert, my throat was a stone. I was bracing for it. with nothing to say. The tears are locked, a lifetime away. I didn't cry, I didn't cry. I'm just waiting for the rain. I'm sitting on the edge of a bed made for two, tracing the patterns of a ghost that looks like you. The moonlight is cold, a pale silver night, cutting through the wreckage of a half-finished life. I'm not looking for a candle or a reason to see. I'm just sitting with the version of who I used to be. They say wait for the morning, wait for the sun, but the battle is over, nobody won. I've stopped checking my phone for a name that I won't show. I've started to listen to the things that I know, like the way that the shadows can hold all my grief, and the weight of the silence brings a heavy relief. It's a bad world for a heart this soft. I'm tired of the wait and I'm tired of the cost. We were two little sparks in a heavy black rain. Now I'm just a witness to the beautiful pain. I tried to protect you, I tried to be brave, but it's a bad behave. The radio's playing a song about peace, while the cracks in the pavement just seem to increase. I saw a child crying in the rain by the store, and I realized I don't know what we're fighting for anymore. You were my shelter, my one piece of right. Now I'm out in the open in the middle of the night. It's a bad world for a heart this soft. I'm tired of the wait and I'm tired of the cost. We were two little sparks in a heavy black rain. Now I'm just a witness to the beautiful pain. I tried to protect you, I tried to be brave, but it's a bad world and there's nothing to say except the memory of how we used to behave. They say keep your chin up and look for the light, but the sun's getting swallowed by the green and the spikes. How do you love in a place built to break? How much of the broken can one person take? It's a cold place, it's a hard place, and I miss the light that was on your face. In this bad world, yeah, it's a bad world. I'm staring at the margins where I used to write your name, before the ink got smeared by the guilt and the blame. We were a library of someday and soon. Now I'm reading by the light of a cold dying moon. I've memorized the chapters where we laughed till we cried, but I'm stuck on the part where the fire inside died. My fingers are shaking, the paper is thin. I don't wanna know how the ending begins, but I'm staring at the last page of pain, watching our story get washed by the rain. There's no watching you leave. I try to dog ear the moments I loved, but they're buried under secrets we pushed and we shoved. The spine of this book is starting to crack, like the weight of the words that I can't take back. I wanna go back to the prologue, the start, before the plot twist that shattered my heart. Should I burn the whole book? Should I keep it on the shelf? Just a cautionary tale I tell to myself. The epilogue is empty, the ink has run dry, and all that is left is this final goodbye. Yet I'm staring at the last page of pain, watching our story get washed by the rain. There's no more to be continued, no more wait and see, just a period at the end of what used to be we. It's the heaviest sentence I've ever had to read, on the last page of pain, watching you leave. Close the cover, let the dust start to fall. It was a beautiful story, after all. The very last line, the very last breath, the last page of pain. I'm standing by the window, watching your headlights fade, thinking about the promises and the mess that we both made. I could've reached for the handle, I could've begged you to stay, but my hands were like lead and the words got in the way. Now the hallway is a canyon, and the kitchen is a ghost of the two people who used to love each other the most. I'm memorizing the silence, I'm counting the cracks, knowing that once you cross that line, there's no turning back. So I'll just watch you walk away into the pouring rain. I'll let the cold air numb in me, take the place of the pain. I swore I was a fighter, but I've got nothing left to try to type hey, but the cursor just blinks like a heavy old anchor that steadily sinks. The digital wall is a mile-high stone, and I'm standing outside in the static alone. The photos are frozen, the profile is blank, like a ship that just hit an invisible bank. I'm a ghost in your feet, I'm a glitch in the past, in a world that we promised was built to last. Yeah, you blocked my heart with a single click, and the silence that falls is heavy and thick. I'm shouting through glass that I can't see through, trying to find just a flicker of you, but the signal is dead and the access denied, and there's nowhere for all of this longing to hide. You cut the connection, you tore us apart when you went, and you decided to block my heart. I went to the places where we used to check in, but I'm a stranger now, underneath my own skin. I see a new life through a friend of a friend, a blurry projection of where we had to end. I'm a user not found, I'm a page doesn't exist, just a name the candlelights dancing with shadows and gloom. You were the vintage I saved for the end, before the lover became just a friend. I remember the harvest, the sun on the vine, when I thought that your heart was forever mine. But the cork has been pulled and the air's getting in, and I'm tasting the places where we didn't win. It looks so translucent, it looks so refined, but the sediments all that you're leaving behind. Oh, it's sweet wine turning to vinegar now. I'm breaking the bread and I'm breaking the vow. The first sip was heaven, a velvet red glow. But the bottom of the bottle is a long way to go. I'm drunk on the maybe and high on the if, falling right over the edge of the cliff from the sweet wine of us. Now it's just rain. The label is torn and the year is all wrong, like a beautiful verse in a tragical song. I try to remember the fruit and the heat, before the surrender and before the defeat. Now the glass is stained purple, a bruise on the wood of the life that we lived in, the us that was good. I'm swirling the memories, I'm watching them spin, trying to find where the sour begins. Was it the silence, or was it the pride, or the things that we both were just trying to hide? Oh, it's sweet wine turning to vinegar now. I'm breaking the bread and I'm breaking the vow. The first sip was heaven, a velvet red glow. But the bottom of the bottle is a long way to go. I'm drunk on the maybe and high on the if, falling right over the edge of the cliff from the sweet wine of us. Now it's just rain, just a glass on the table and a stain on the floor. I'm not thirsty for you anymore. Sweet wine, so bitter now, so bitter. The sound of a glass being set down in silence. where the silence is heavy and smells like perfume. Every step that I take is a crack in the floor. Since you took your laughter and walked out the door, I try to stand tall, but I'm made out of glass, watching the ghost of our memories pass. One little word, one cold sharp goodbye was enough to bring down the whole of the sky. We weren't made of stone, we weren't made of gold, just a delicate story and it's already told. Now I'm living with a brittle heart, easy to break, trapping under the weight of this ache. A touch is too heavy, a whisper's too loud. I'm a paper thin soul in a thunderous cloud. It's splintering inward, it's falling apart. The fragile remains of a brittle heart. I handle my chest like a porcelain vase, trying to hide every hairline trace of the night that you left, and the world went cold, leaving me with a hand I can no longer hold. I'm a skeleton leaf in the autumn wind, wondering where the true damage begins. Don't breathe too hard, don't move too fast. Nothing this hollow was ever meant to last. It's a crystalline cage, it's a shivering shelf. I'm afraid of the sound of me losing myself. Yeah, I'm living with a brittle heart, easy to break, trembling under the weight of this ache. A touch is too heavy, a whisper's too loud. I'm a paper thin soul in a thunderous cloud. It's splintering inward, it's falling apart. Fragile remains of a brittle heart. Handle with care, there's nothing left there, just dust in the light and a fear of the night. Watch it shatter. Does it even matter? Brittle heart. promises, like coins in my palm, safe in the quiet, safe in the calm. You swore on the stars and you swore on the moon that the end of our story was never too soon. I built a whole life on the words that you spoke, but a foundation of whispers is easy to broke. I'm looking at texts that I should have erased, searching for truth in a memory displaced. The always and forever were just pretty sounds. Now I'm the one left on the battlegrounds. And it's the way that you looked me straight in the eye and sold me a heaven that was only a lie. You said we were solid, you said we were gold, but the story you whispered was a lie you had sold. My heart is the debt that I'm forced to pay, because you lied to me in the cruelest of ways. I found the receipts and I found the why behind every secret and every just fine. You played the hero while you sharpened the knife and cut out the colors from the rest of my life. It's not just the leaving that's making me bleed, it's the version of us that I didn't even need. I'd rather you'd screamed it and rather you'd fought than give me a love that was easily bought with fake, unmisused and half-hearted grins. Now I'm the one wearing the weight of your self. It's the way that you looked me straight in the eye and sold me a heaven that was only a lie. You said we were solid, you said we were gold, but the story you whispered was a lie you had sold. My heart is the debt that I'm forced to pay, because you lied to me in the cruelest of ways. You said forever, but forever was short. You said I'm with you, but you left the fort. You lied to me, and I'm just the lie you left behind. I reach for the jar on the top of the shelf, looking for something to save me from myself. came with a shimmer, a gold-plated glow, the sweetest addiction I ever could know. I let you dissolve on the tip of my tongue, the beautiful anthem that we both had sung. But the jar had a crack and the seal was all wrong. I was intoxicated for way too long. I didn't see the sickness behind the display until the fever was too high to stay. Oh, it's poison, honey, it's a beautiful kill. I'm drinking the nectar, but I'm feeling the chill. You're the sugar that's burning the back of my throat, the anchor that's sinking, the only lifeboat. I'm dying for more while I'm falling apart from the poison, honey, you poured in my heart. I remember the mornings, the light in the room, before the sweetness turned into the gloom. You coated your words in a syrup so thick I couldn't hear the clock as it started to tick. Now my blood is heavy, my breathing is slow, from the only love that I'll ever go. They say sweet like a rose, they say sweet like a dream, but nobody hears when the sweetness starts to scream. I'm sticky with lies, and I'm covered in shame, and I only have my own hunger to blame. Oh, it's poison, honey, it's a beautiful kill. I'm drinking the nectar, but I'm feeling the chill. You're the sugar that's burning the back of my throat, the anchor that's sinking, the only lifeboat. I'm dying for more while I'm falling apart from the poison, honey, you poured in my heart. The jar is empty now, just the bitter aftertaste, a hollow sweetness and a love gone to waste. Poison, honey, and every memory, every memory. Final notes linger and slowly fade into a soft, breathy silence. The silver frames are tarnished and the edges are charred. I'm sitting in the kitchen, taking it hard. I try to keep the highlights, the gold in your hair, but It's like looking through film that's been soaked in the rain, until every smile is a portrait of